In this video, I'm going to be showing you push, pull legs day by day. Kind of what I do. It more so has a powerlifting aspect to it and then a bodybuilding kind of accessory movement. This video is more so leaning towards a minimal home gym standard. You know, you only have really access to a leg extension, leg curl, a tricep dip, power rack, 7-foot Olympic barbell, deadlift platform-ish, and a few dumbbells. Starting off with the push day, we're doing what I like to call a 60-70-80 rule. It's where you take your 1 rep max, then you multiply it by 60%, and then whatever number that comes out as, that's your first set. Now these are working sets, so you want to warm up beforehand, go like way lighter, use resistant bands to open up the shoulders, and then moving through 60, 70 and 80, you just take the 60%, 70% and the 80%, and then you multiply them by the 1 rep max that you have. Once you've done that, then you kind of go, my rule of thumb would be for 60% try and aim for 6 to 8, for 70% aim for at least 5, and then for 80% it would be your top set of 3. Now granted, if you're already just hitting a PR and you're very new to your PR, realistically your 80% top set of 3 might only be a top set of 1 or maybe even 2. So the whole idea of it is to try and get it up to at least 3, then try to break to 4. And if you can break to 4, then that means you're probably ready for another PR, or you're strong enough to get there. Now granted, you could just stay at that 80% and work your way up to maybe a set of 5, so that you can jump up maybe 10 kilo instead of a 5 kilo from just adding 1 or 2 reps to your 80%. But as time moves on, you'll just eventually keep seeing the numbers grow, and it's an easier way of seeing the 60, 70, 80. It's easier to write it down on paper and see the progress that you're making instead of kind of just guessing it. Straight after bench press, we're moving into the accessories, which is more so the bodybuilding type style of the training. So straight after the powerlifting session, we kind of take about 5 to 10 minutes, and then after the 5 to 10 minutes we start with dips. Now most of the exercises after are more so a bodybuilding type style, so what I like to take from a bodybuilding point of view would be train every set till failure, if not warm up and then take 1 set till failure. Now with my routine, since there's so little things to do, I'll take 2 sets till failure. If not, I'll take maybe even 3. Due to the limited sort of machines and just equipment in general, I would like to incorporate, if you are trying to do this, more so a cable chest fly. That'll probably be way more beneficial to growing chest if you're looking for more growth in it. But I found that dips have really engaged my lower pecs, which I really haven't been training for the last 2 years, just because I've only recently added the dip bars. Going from 2 sets to failure on the dips, we're going straight into lateral raises. Now lateral raises it's a weird one. Normally you do the triceps and leave lateral raises to last, but I like to just do the lateral raises second to last, because I do sometimes just get way too fatigued after doing tricep extensions and then just completely neglect doing shoulders. In a push day like this, like every push day, you could incorporate a shoulder press of some sort. With all of these sets and reps, these are all mostly till failure, but when you're hitting failure, you kind of want to stay in the margin of 12 to 15. So staying in that 12 to 15, if I was going above and beyond and didn't really hit failure on, let's just say, dips, I'd try and then add more weight by either sticking on a 5 or 10 kilo plate just wrapped around me. And then if you can get then to 10 reps and then you're struggling to get to the 11th, then you can progressively overload over time. So straight after lateral raises, we're moving into easy bar skull crushers. You could do tricep pushdowns using cable machines, but I prefer to use the easy bar skull crusher just because I feel like it activates my triceps more. And also I can't load up as much weight on the tricep pushdowns with the equipment that I have. That's basically it for the push day. You could add in more movements, but due to time, I normally just try and keep everything under an hour, if not a little less. So adding in movements that give me the most bang for my money. It's more so compound movements rather than, you know, isolated movements. So if I was to do this absolutely perfectly and I had more time, I could do like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. I would add in the shoulder military press if not seated dumbbell press. And if I had a cable pulley machine, I'd probably incorporate that just to finish off chest when you finish your dips. I think it'll just round out everything more and you'll get everything out of your chest. So pull day. This one, when recording, didn't go as planned. I did overtime at work, so this was like, I felt dead even after taking pre-workout. So basically I did the 60, 70, 80 rule starting off for this pull day. It kind of goes the same for all the powerlifting movements, the 60, 70, 80, to try and progressively overload them. I basically only just got up to a top set of 3 for 150 kilo, which is probably about 70% of what I can lift. And that's kind of what I'm working towards. I'm working to get that to a 5 and then also stack on maybe 180 to then do my 80%. Moving swiftly onwards, since I only did about 3 sets of deadlifts, moving straight into pull-ups. Normally I do 3 sets of pull-ups. I do one just to kind of warm up, and then I'll do the second one weighted, and I'll do the third one just by body weight again as well. Then moving from pull-ups, moving straight into rear delts. And for a lot of years I've actually neglected my rear delts. I haven't really trained them that much. I just keep kind of leaving them to last. So I kind of do the same thing as I do for side lateral raises. I do it second to last, so I have to get that done in order to do the last movement. So I do about 2 sets of them till failure, just with about a 5 kilo plate. With failure with shoulders such as like rear delts, since the muscle is so small, you're better off doing a higher rep range, upwards of like 20 to 25. Don't ask me the science behind it, but that's just the way I do it. Then moving from rear delts, we're moving on to biceps. Now biceps, normally I do the easy bar curl for about 1 set, just 1 heavy set. And then I move straight on to dumbbells, which is just complete failure. Just no matter how many I can do, I'll just do as many as until it burns completely. And that's basically it for the pull day. It's normally meant to be longer. I was kind of just dragging myself through this one, but got there in the end. Hopefully then I can do a better one next week. So today's leg day. Probably the worst day of the week. Now this leg day, since it's in a home gym, like all the other days are, you're working with very minimal equipment. So all I have today is a power rack and not heavy dumbbells and a leg extension and leg curl machine. So starting off, I'm doing powerlifting for squats. Now squats have been neglected for quite a while. Back a good few months back, I was able to do 185 for 1. That was my all-time PR. And I was able to do 130 kilo for about 15 reps. So I was using very high volume. Now the reason for the high volume is because I never had a leg extension machine or like a leg curl machine. So all I really had to build legs was just squats. So I was just squatting maybe 8 sets, nearly even 10 sets, and then doing a few RDLs then after. So since they've been neglected for so long, I'm kind of just getting back into it. So I normally use the 60, 70, 80 rule. But for now, I'm just doing 4 sets just of increasing weight kind of gradually. And as I increase weight gradually and I start getting to a comfortable weight and also getting comfortable with my leg condition at the moment, then I'll eventually start adding in the proper 60, 70, 80 rule and actually trying to increase the numbers quite dramatically. So by the end of the 4 sets of squats, I'm going into another set of squats, but these ones are different. These squats are on a weight plate, so I'm elevating my heels when I'm doing the squats, and I'm using very minimal weight. I'm only using about 60 kilo. With the elevated heel, you're also getting more of a stretch. You can get down deeper in the squat. So the last set of squats is pretty much just a burnout set. Now moving straight into the next exercise, it'll be leg extensions. Now with leg extensions, it's very easy. It's just leg extensions. I don't gradually increase the weight in these because I've already come out of a burn set of squats. I'm also after doing really heavy squats. So I just move straight into about 50 kilo, 60 kilo and just do that for 2 sets, all until failure. Now the next ones are hamstrings. Hamstrings are a funny one because for a good while I've always kind of neglected them. I never really bothered with hamstrings. I did a few RDLs, that's about it. But now I kind of want to actually grow them a bit more and actually do them. So with the routine, I'm kind of warming them up with dumbbells, just doing like an RDL stretch almost, because I've found in the past if I don't do that and I go straight into a burnout set or go straight into a heavy set, my hamstrings cramp up really bad. So after doing about 1 or 2 sets of RDLs, then I move straight into doing hamstring curls. I'll stick on a light weight and then increase it by maybe 20 kilo. Now out of all the days, legs is probably taking the least amount of time because there's not exactly a huge amount I can do. It's only really 2 muscle groups. I don't train calves because I've never really needed to. They're not super small compared to my quads and my hamstrings or my legs just in general. But if you were to do this and you do have terrible calf genetics or whatever, now if your calves are bad, you can incorporate them into this routine by simply just doing maybe 2 or 3 sets of just all failure on either the seated calf raise or the standing calf raise. So that's pretty much it for legs, and that's pretty much it for the whole push-pull legs routine. Now you have 2 ways of going about this push-pull legs routine. You can either do the first one, which is the one that I do, which is Monday to Saturday, which is just push-pull legs, push-pull legs. Or you can do the second option, which is push-pull legs, rest, and then push-pull legs, rest. So you're always resting in between each cycle. Now the second one is probably better if you have access to like real equipment, like machines, and you can really isolate movements. But if you're like me and you don't have a lot of isolation equipment, it's more compound lifts, then I'd highly recommend just doing the Monday to Saturday and then resting on the Sunday. So that's pretty much it for the video. This is probably the best workout split that I've found, and I've done a good few. I've done the Arnold split, I've done the bro split, I've done all types of different splits, and this is by far probably the best bang for your buck and the quickest that you can do, especially if you want to incorporate powerlifting and bodybuilding at the same time. Right, that's pretty much it.